Chrysalis Chats, your every single day, that 7-day-a-week source for vegan inspiration and how-tos. My name is Tanya, and like a caterpillar to a butterfly, I help people metamorphosize their diets and lifestyles to be plant-based. Today we are talking about my hacks for you this autumn and winter season. As the weather cools and as a vegan, sometimes you can just feel like you need something a little extra warming. And honestly, my opinion is that this is kind of across the board for all of us as humans, right? But if you're finding yourself as a plant-based individual and you're feeling like it's really cold where you're at, sometimes I think it's because your body's not getting inundated with all the chemicals as somebody who is on an animal-based diet, and so your likelihood of feeling overly heated is a lot less because you're eating so much more pure. So that's why I'm here today, because I want to let you know that you can still eat really pure, still eat really clean as a plant-based individual and feel really warm and comforted this autumn and winter season. So my top hacks are what I'm sharing with you throughout this entire week, so stay tuned for all the different videos coming up on this topic. And the first one is soup. So today we're talking about soup and why soup is great for you. And I know it's kind of like, oh, common sense, right? Like, oh yeah, I should eat some soup if it's cold out. But I recommend that you actually make a bunch of soup ahead of time, because I'm looking to make this as easy as possible for you, right? Throughout this season. So I recommend that you batch your soup, you make a large amount of it, like a whole pot, right? That maybe you're also eating for dinner a couple nights that week, but you can actually take it with you for lunch regularly. And if you feel like you're going to get bored of that, you could actually do that with 2 soups throughout any given week. And so I'm going to show you in my next video how to make my favorite soup that I came up with the recipe for. It's actually a garbanzo bean flour dumpling soup, and it's veggie based. It's really, really good. So I'm going to walk you how to do that step by step in my next video. But, something like that, and maybe like a split pea soup, or maybe even something like dal, that would be really good to make in a large batch. And then what you can do is actually put that in your containers throughout the week. So you can keep it in a thermos, heat it up before you go into work, and have it with you ready to go, super hot, super warm, super nourishing, really just what you need on a cold winter or autumn day. So that's one of my top tips for soup in terms of how to store it for usage throughout the day. You can freeze it as well if you make it in a large batch and you don't want to be using the whole batch of soup in a single week, or maybe you just feel like cooking up a bunch of soup one day and you're making like 4 pots of soup and it's an incredible amount, and you need to just like keep it in various bags or containers in your freezer, and then you can use it throughout the weeks ahead in that way as well. That's perfectly fine. But for me, I tend to make them just 1 or 2 batches a week, and then kind of use that throughout the week as my lunch, as my dinner, and I really enjoy it that way. So why else is soup good for you besides being warming? Well, not only is it warming, but in the cooler months you might find that your appetite goes up and that you need more sustenance to feel alive and stable with the crazy elements that are going on around us of snow and rain and ice rain and sleet and hail and stuff like that. If you're in a climate that has that, which a lot of us watching this might very well be. So with that said, soup is really good because you can pack it full of a lot of protein and a lot of fiber, and it'll keep you full for longer. And so not only is it something warm, but it's something that's going to stick with you for a few hours so that you don't feel like, oh my God, I just ate and I'm really hungry again. So that's really my overview of soup. I also wanted to say about it that you can customize it and turn it into whatever type that you're craving for the week. If you're craving like sweet stuff, you can totally make maybe like a squash or a pumpkin based or like sweet potato based soup, and that can be kind of like more of a sweet soup for you, just as much as you're into like really savory stuff and you're like, no, I want savory all day. Maybe that's more that dumpling soup or a split pea soup or a lentil soup, something of that. Not that lentil soup, if it's dal, would be really lentil soup, it would be dal, but you know what I mean. Maybe you can use more savory stuff. Maybe pair it, make 1 sweet soup, 1 savory soup for yourself for that week, and I think that that's really going to help you keep your momentum, your energy, your chi, if you think about it in those terms, that we're losing a lot of chi if we're out in the cooler elements. It's really going to help you keep that up throughout the week. And it's also going to help keep your day good, knowing that, you know, you feeling like you ate a good meal, because nobody wants to be cold and hungry in winter, right? So with that said, friend, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button and support this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and put a comment down below letting us know what your favorite soup is, because maybe I'll actually use that as inspiration for a future how-to video. So with that said, whether you're just starting off as a tiny little caterpillar, like where are the leaves at, or you're a full-fledged butterfly sipping the nectar of a plant-based diet, you, my friend, are awesome. Have a blessed day.